Thank you so much, okay, for joining in. So we proceed with the question that we are answering here. Okay, so this is the question, and again, we are just answering some exam questions on linear programming. Okay, so here you can see we've been given the coordinates at each point, okay, represented by the letters, and we've been asked to find the inequalities defining the unshaded region, that is R, okay, this inside part here. All right, so now we're going to do that. So there are two ways that you can use. Some lines, you can just identify them, you can tell, but what I'll do, we'll just use the method of solving so that you can avoid some mistakes. Okay, so what lines can we start with? Well, we can start with this line here. Okay, let me do this so that you can see it. Look at this line here. Look at this line. This line here, I hope you are able to see it. Okay, this line here, it is a breaking line. That's one thing which you can identify. Okay, it is a breaking line, and then it is shaded to the numbers that are proceeding as you go this side. Okay, so these are bigger numbers than these ones here below. Okay, now E, look at E. At which point is E? What are the coordinates of E? So E, let me just write it here. Note that you have been given E to be the point. Okay, so we are told E has the x value for E is what? So you can look at this one. For E, the x value is 7. So it's 7. We have 7 comma 1, right? So that is the x value. The other that you can use is also D. Compare with D. Okay, so look at D. The points for D, the x coordinate and y coordinate for D is 7 comma what? Comma 0. Okay, so for D, it is telling you to say here the x value at E is 7, and at D the x value is 7 as well. Okay, so you look at this line passing at E, it is passing at Y, right? So I mean not Y but X, sorry about that. It is passing at X, which means in X coordinate we have a number, or rather an inequality line passing at 7. Okay, so you have identified that, but what is the sign there telling you? Okay, looking at the area to which this line is shaded, okay, it is shaded to all the numbers greater than 7. Okay, yes, so this is telling you to say the equation, or rather the inequality, will be x greater than 7. So all the numbers here above E, they are greater than 7. So all the x values in the x-axis starting at E going this-ward, they are greater than 7. Okay, so that is your first inequality, defining the unshaded region, isn't it? So the other one that you can you can look at, the second one, we can pick on let's take OA. Right, we can check OA. Okay, even OA, if we want, we can just identify it to be OA. We can see it is passing at the point 0, 0, and it is shaded to the greater numbers. So we can say the line there is Y. Okay, is Y greater than X. Okay, because the line is also breaking. Okay, so it's not greater than or equal to. But instead of just writing like this, for the sake of you understanding, you can still use the formula. Okay, it's just for the sake of understanding, let's use the formula. You see how it can apply. So if you want, even these lines that we are identifying, you can just use the procedure to avoid mistakes. Okay, you can just use this line, this standard line for the straight lines, this equation. Okay, so here you can use the line. Okay, you can use your 0, 0, okay, as one point at 0. Okay, and then you can also use a, okay, a, which is, now a you've been given to be 1, 1, right? Okay, so you can solve for m. Now solving for m, you know, which is your gradient, you know that this will be y2 minus y1, right, over x2. Okay, so you have your x2 minus x1, which will give you, so your y2, you can let this be your y2. So these ones, okay, you can make them be your x2 and your y2. So this will be our y2, okay, and this is our x2, and these can just be our x1, okay, and our y1, right? Okay, so your x2 is 1 minus your y1, your y2 I mean is 1, your y1 is 0, your x2 is 1 minus your y1 is 0 as well, and this will give you a gradient of 1. Okay, a gradient of magnitude 1. Now you can use now the same equation again. Okay, so this time we want to calculate for c. You can see that your c here, the value for c, you can use this set here. Okay, 0, 0, so you have your x and your y value, which means your y value is 0. Okay, the gradient, you have found your gradient to be 1, your x value is also 0, okay, plus c, and this one is giving you the value of c to be equal to what? 0, isn't it? And finally you can write your inequality using your mx, okay, your mx plus c, where your value of x, c, you found c to be 0, so you are going to have y is equal to, okay, for now, okay, let's do this. Okay, your equation will be y. Okay, let's just leave this space for now. Okay, your m is 1, right, and your x there. Okay, so let's do this. This is what you have, this is what you're getting when you replace. But look at this line here we are looking at, the line which is passing at 0 here. Okay, this line here, hope you're able to see it. Okay, this one, look at, it is breaking first of all, and then it is shaded to greater numbers. Okay, where the line to which it has been shaded, they are great numbers. Okay, so what is that telling you? So these numbers, they are shaded this side, right? So the sign that you have in here is greater, which means you have y greater than 1 times x. This is x. Okay, so you can also use this method if just identifying first, if you are unable to identify these simple inequalities. Okay, so we have 2 equations here, right? So we are remaining with 2. So how are we going to identify the remaining 2? Okay, so again, we look at the question again. We can now solve for the line CB. Okay, so CB here. Okay, now look at your C. What are the coordinates for C? So for C you have 14,0. Let me change the color here. So for C you have 14, what? 0, your x coordinate and your y coordinate. And then for B, so for B you have the coordinates 0, 7. You have the coordinates 0, 7 there. Okay, so here we are saying you have your x value, okay, and your y value. We have your x value here and your y value. So this can be your 2, your x2 and your y2, and this can be your y1 and your x2. So look at the line which we are focusing on here is this line again. Okay, this one here. Okay, so this is the line connecting at C and B. Now one thing you have to notice that this line is not breaking. Okay, that's one thing you have to take note of. So we can again follow the same procedure here. Okay, so let me just do this. We save it down here. So we start with calculating the value of m. So m, we have the same formula, this one here. Okay, so we are applying this formula here, right? So you have your y2 minus y1. So which one is your y2? Your y2, you have 7 minus 0. Okay, you have 7 as your y2 minus 0. Okay, divide by your x2. You have your x2, which is 0 minus, okay, so you have 0 minus 14 as your x1, and this is giving you -1 over 2, right? So this is the value you are getting. You're getting this one as the value for your m as your gradient. Okay, so after getting that, you can now calculate using the general formula, or rather the general equation for the inequalities. That is, you have your mx plus c. Okay, now your y value and your x value here, you can choose 0 and 7. That is, we choose this pair here. Okay, we use this one. We just use one pair, remember, which contains x and y value. So our y value is 7, right? Now our gradient has been found to be -1 over 2, right? Now our x value, note that your x value here in the pair is 0, right? This one here. Okay, so your x value is 0 there, plus c, and this gives you your value of c to be nothing but 7. If this is the value of c you find, then your inequality will be mx plus c. Okay, and here we are just going to replace that. Our m value is -1 over 2. Okay, and x, we write x, and plus the value of c, we have calculated it to be 7. Junior to be 7. So if this is the value of 7 that we have and we place it there, then we are going to analyze here. Okay, look at this part here, the equal sign, where there is the equal sign. So the equal sign now is what we have to deal with. So look at your graph again. Okay, so your graph, the line is shaded to the greater numbers. Okay, this side, this is the side to which it has been shaded, which is telling you to say what you are having is a greater than sign. Okay, so here the sign that which is satisfying our equation is nothing but greater. Okay, the other form you can write it is to multiply through by 2, and you're going to have 2y is greater than 14. Okay, it's greater than 14 minus x. Okay, this is another way you can write it. Okay, so this is our third equation. So let's calculate the last one, and the last one here is being represented by the line, this one here. Okay, so look at where this line is passing. Okay, before we proceed here, we have forgotten something. This is not we haven't completed. Look at your line is not breaking for this inequality, so it will carry a greater than or equal to, and here greater than or equal to. As you can see from your graph, this one, the line is not breaking, so the inequality will carry the greater than or equal to. All right, now we can look at the line here. Okay, so this one, the last one, so look at, even this one is not breaking. Okay, and it is passing at the point, at the 2 points there which we have, that is A and E. Okay, so it is passing at the points A and E. Okay, now if we want, we can just pick this one to be y is greater than 1. Why are we going to pick this to be y greater than 1? Look at the points for A. Okay, so this is our fourth equation, not the third, but the fourth equation here. The A coordinates, we have 1, 1, right? Okay, so what is this telling you? It is telling you to say in the y-axis, okay, in the y-axis here we have 1, so we have 1 here in the y-axis. Okay, let me use the light color. So this means you have 1 in the y-axis, and in the x-axis you have 1 here, which means this line is passing in the y-axis at the point 1. That gives us the equation y. Now the other thing that you need to consider is the area, or the side to which it has been shaded. So it has been shaded downward, and all the values which are down here, we note that they are less than 1, right? So this y will be less than y. So all the numbers, or rather the values of y below 1 will be less than 1, but the line is not breaking, so it will have a less than or equal to. Okay, now we can just arrange all the equations that we have calculated. So we have these ones here. Okay, so we have these ones here as the equations. Okay, let's put them down here. So we have, this was the first one. There we have this one as the fourth one. Okay, and we got this one here. Okay, we got this one here, and this gives us 4 inequalities describing the unshaded region. Okay, so this was number 3, and this is number 4. So these are the inequalities giving us, describing the unshaded region. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and remember to share the videos to your friends so that they can also benefit. Okay, so in the following video we'll see what we are going to consider. Okay, so see you in the next video.